Good Morning Northwest Morning Sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is now 6:53. Time to get you ready to take on your Thursday in the morning sprint.
Yeah, Mark Peterson is following another day of rain, and Olivia Roberts has the latest recommendation from health officials as some pools begin to reopen.
Yeah, but first, a breaking news update to bring you this morning. A SWAT standoff with a domestic violence suspect ended with the arrest of that man late last night in the area of 23rd and Howard near Manitou Park. It started around 6:15 when the father of 34-year-old Eric Johnson called 911 saying his son was naked, high on meth, and threatening him with a knife. The father escaped the house, but Johnson refused to surrender, triggering a SWAT standoff. Eventually, the SWAT team pepper sprayed the house, causing Johnson to finally come outside and surrender. He is charged with second-degree assault.
And more breaking news, new numbers out for the first time, show first-time unemployment claims that about 2.5 million more Americans filed last week. Numbers have been gradually falling since a record 6.8 million people filed in a single week in mid-March. More than 38 million people across the country are out of a job because of COVID-19.
Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband have pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges in connection with the college admissions scandal. Loughlin, best known as Aunt Becky from Full House, will serve 2 months in jail, pay a $150,000 fine, followed by 2 years of supervised release and 100 hours of community service.
Tropical cyclone Amphan killed at least 12 people in the eastern part of India and pulverized districts in West Bengal. In Bangladesh, the storm ravaged thousands of temporary homes, displacing many people. An official for the country's Catholic Relief Services said the country saw storm surges as high as 15 feet.
For today locally in our first alert weather, it's going to be a blustery, windy day. In fact, we have winds to 23 miles an hour. The 24-hour forecast has a system exiting that wind accompanying that, and then a chance of showers for this afternoon. Get a nice break. And then more rain coming in tomorrow morning, and that could be more sustained rain like what we saw yesterday.
Well, we're still waiting to get the green light to enter phase 2 of the reopening process here in Spokane County. The county currently qualifies to do so under the guidelines that Governor Jay Inslee laid out on Tuesday. Since officials already gave a reopening proposal to the state, they didn't have to restart the application process, just update a few numbers instead. That was submitted yesterday, and we're told the state could have a decision as soon as today. We'll let you know as soon as we find out.
But Grant County, which includes Moses Lake, has not been approved to apply to move to phase 2. The Grant County Health District said it's just over the threshold of new cases to move into the next phase. The county says it will apply as soon as that number of new cases drops. In the meantime, it is working with businesses so they're ready when that day comes.
Before any county can move to phase 2, they have to have guidelines in place for tracking the virus. That means contact tracing. There are now almost 1,500 new contact tracers in the state. As of today, in Spokane County, there are 75 contact tracers. The state's goal is to eventually reach out to those infected within 24 hours and figure out who they've been in close contact with.
Planning to head to the pool this summer, you'll have to bring your swimsuit, towel, and face mask. That's the latest recommendation from the CDC. The CDC also encourages pool users and staff to wear face masks whenever they're outside the water. Of course, swimmers should not be wearing them inside the pool. The CDC says masks can be difficult to breathe through when they're wet. You should be avoiding group gatherings in and out of the water, practicing physical distancing when you can. The CDC says lifeguards should not be enforcing these precautions. They should be focused on water safety while other staff members take on those rules. Several states have already started opening their public and private pools, like Georgia and Florida. Closer to home in North Idaho, the Mullen Pool announced yesterday it plans to reopen on June 1st.
Looking ahead today, churches eager to get back to normal are hoping for good news from Governor Inslee this morning. He said he talked to the media at 11:30 about restarting faith-based services. He'll also speak to healthcare providers on the importance of seeking urgent medical care and take questions from reporters. You can look for updates on our website at KXLY.com. We'll be back with a final look at your forecast coming up after this.